Hello, my name is John Bannon. I'm an attorney and philosopher. In today's video, I'm going to explain how Hanssonian superdeterminism equalizes philosophy and physics. When I speak of Hanssonian superdeterminism, I'm referring to a unique class of superdeterminism proven by Swedish theoretical physicist Dr. Johan Hansen. You can find his proof in the peer-reviewed physics journal Physics Essays, volume 33, number 2, June of 2020, pages 216 to 218. Dr. Hansen proved that we live in a fourth-dimensional static block universe without cause and effect in physics, or probabilistic causation in physics. In other words, we live in a block universe consisting of 3 dimensions of space and 1 hidden static dimension of time. And the only thing that exists in the block universe besides nothing is particles. And these particles are static. They're set in place like pebbles in concrete. You can't move them. You can't change them. They're permanent. And all of this is the result of Dr. Hansen proving that cause and effect is not real. So, under Hanssonian superdeterminism, because consciousness is a physical reality, then philosophical thoughts hold the same ontological status as physical reality itself, which is studied by physics. So, for instance, if you consciously decide to move your arm, because your arm is undeniably a physical reality, then your future arm movement must be predetermined in the static dimension of time. But if your arm movement is predetermined, then your conscious decision to move your arm must also be predetermined in order for your arm movement to be predetermined. So in a Hanssonian static block universe, all events, past, present, and future, are equally real, and they all presently exist because nothing can cause them to change, because there's no cause and effect in physics, and there's no moving time because nothing can be caused to move without cause and effect in physics. So something like your arm movement is predetermined and already exists in the future static dimension of time. You can't get rid of it. But because you consciously decided to move your arm, your conscious decision also has to be predetermined and exist in the static block universe in order for your arm movement to exist. Now, it's a mystery as to how consciousness, which is immaterial, can be a physical reality. But because it's predetermined, it has to be a physical reality. Your conscious decisions or your conscious experience is located exactly where your brain particles are. And your brain particles are physical realities. And they are subject to being predetermined in a physical block universe. So it must be the predetermined organization of your brain particles which lead to your predetermined conscious thoughts, such as to move your arm. Now, consciousness is immaterial, and it's a mystery as how it can be physical. But if I were to guess, I would say this. The universe itself can be described by logical mathematical laws of physics. So the particles that exhibit these static patterns over the dimension of time follow logical mathematical laws. And that's telling you that the universe is logic. Now, you could imagine that brain particle organizations, which are very complicated, could create a different form of logic, a logic I call the logic of the possible. And because that logic exists, it has to have a reality in which to exist. And that reality is what we experience as our consciousness. So our immaterial conscious reality would actually be a derivative reality due to the logic that gets exhibited by brain particles. And brain particles themselves are in their own reality. We call the material reality. Even though you're talking about uh, basically logic and mathematics. So while physics charts the geometric relations of matter and energy from an external perspective, philosophy charts the equally physical geometric relations of objective truth and conscious awareness from within the block. So, because consciousness is a physical reality, philosophy is studying physical reality when it has conscious thoughts about philosophy. So it's studying a physical reality, which is just as physical as the matter and energy that physicists study. This equalizes both philosophy and physics as partners in reading the single static physical block reality. Um, Rene Descartes trapped Western metaphysics by splitting reality into two incompatible substances: a physical spatial body, or re extensa, and a non physical spaceless mind, or re cogitans. Having this split between mind and body leaves philosophers unable to explain how they could ever interact. But Hanssonian superdeterminism dissolves this trap set by Descartes by establishing a geometric monism where mind and matter are made of the exact same physical fabric. By demonstrating that mind is simply what a complex configuration of physical 4D geometry feels like from the inside, physics and philosophy are equal partners in mapping the same unmoving block reality. Consequently, under Hanssonian superdeterminism, the comments by some famous physicists or astrophysicists that philosophy has no point in physics and these armchair philosophers should stick to other subjects besides physics is totally uncalled for and incorrect under Hanssonian superdeterminism, because philosophical thoughts about objective truth, consciousness, the nature of the universe are in fact physical realities and a mapping of the physical block universe itself. Okay, well, you philosophers out there should have enjoyed that quite a bit. And I know a particular astrophysicist isn't going to like hearing this, but it's true. Dr. Hansen proved it. All right, I'll give you a second to read the board. All right, so you philosophers out there, keep your heads up high and take care.